Take the winning spirit out onto the field in the top of the first. Andre Dawson facing Tommy Green. And he takes Green to right field for a single, scoring Doug DeCenzo. Chicago goes up 1-0. And for Dawson, this is RBI number 100 on the year, tying Ryan Sandberg for the team lead. And later in the top of the first, Derek May hits a blooper to center field. Mickey Morandini has it go in and out of his glove. It is ruled a double, and Andre Dawson comes in to score, and Chicago goes up 2-0. And the Cubs slugging second baseman Ryan Sandberg taking the night off after hitting his 40th home run of the year last night. And the Cubs seem to be doing just fine without him. In the top of the third, Dwight Smith doubles off of Tommy Green. This one brings in Doug DeCenzo, and the Cubs go up by the score of 3-0. Finally, in the bottom of the fifth, the Phils get on the board. Mickey Morandini facing Mike Bielecki. And Morandini singles to center field for RBI number 3 as Charlie Hayes comes around to score. However, Chicago still leads 3-1. In the bottom of the seventh, Lenny Dykstra coming into the game, batting .326, going for the National League batting crown. He only went 1 for 4 tonight as he flies out to Dwight Smith to end the bottom of the seventh as the Cubs lead 3-1. But the Phils weren't about to lay down in the top of the ninth. Luis Salazar at the plate. Salazar rips a line shot to left field. Wes Chamberlain comes in for the great shoestring catch. However, Cubs skipper Don Zimmer decides in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs to take out Dave Pavlis and bring in his closer, Mitch Williams. And with Randy Reddy at the plate, Reddy will hit the ground ball back at Williams, and he'll make a sensational backhanded play for the last out of the game as the Cubs go on to win by the score of 3-1. Mike Bielecki, he's the winner. His record goes to 8-11. Tommy Green, the loser, he drops to 3-3. And Mitch Williams picks up save number 16 on a fabulous backhanded play. Tuesday night in Baltimore, Frank Robinson and the Baltimore Orioles enjoying their role as a spoiler as they have put Toronto on the brink of elimination in the AL East race. Boston has clinched at least a tie and is now 2 games up on Toronto. In the bottom of the first, starting pitcher Bud Black runs into a little bit of trouble. Mike Devereaux hits a line drive off of Black's hand. Black is still able to get him at first base, but after being examined by the team trainer, Bud Black was okay and decided to stay in the game. So we take another look at Mike Devereaux's line drive back at the mound, just catching Bud Black on the back of the hand. Baltimore starter Dave Johnson having a little bit of an easier time through the first 4 innings than Bud Black. He only allowed 1 hit and had retired 12 straight batters before, in the top of the fifth with 1 out, George Bell singled, followed by John Olerud, and that brought up Pat Borders. And Borders will rip a single off of Johnson, RBI number 49, as George Bell comes in to score, and Toronto leads 1-0. But Baltimore wouldn't lay down. Cito Gaston deciding to keep starter Bud Black in the game. In the bottom of the eighth, Brady Anderson rips a shot to center field. Mookie Wilson comes in for the catch. However, Rene Gonzalez tags and scores. And the score is tied at 1-1. But plenty of Toronto supporters in the stands feeling that their team can do it. In the top of the ninth, Fred McGriff will deliver. With Dave Anderson still on the mound, Fred McGriff goes deep to right field. Steve Finley goes back, goes up on the wall, but he just can't get to it. As Fred McGriff rips a solo shot, home run number 35 on the year, RBI number 88. And this one will give Toronto a 2-1 lead. And this was McGriff's first home run since September 11th. What a big one it was. As now the Toronto Blue Jays' fate lies in the hands of the Chicago White Sox. They're hoping the White Sox can knock off the Red Sox tomorrow. And if Toronto beats Baltimore tomorrow, they'll force a playoff in Toronto on Thursday. Because in the bottom of the ninth, Tom Henke comes in. He strikes out Sam Horn for the last out of the game. Toronto goes on to win a squeaker by the score of 2-1. Bud Black, he's the winner. His record improves to 13-11. Dave Johnson, the loser, he drops to 13-9. Tom Henke picks up save number 32.
Satisfaction as you met those.
Well, being traded at such a late point in the year, you want to feel as though you can contribute. I was a little disappointed in what happened last week in Milwaukee, but this is satisfying to come back and pitch a good ball game and win for us, and hopefully, like I said earlier, hopefully we can watch the TV here in a matter of moments and the White Sox win, and we can go to tomorrow.
One of the top ones. Oh, yeah, sure. It's always nice to hit a game-winning home run and help a team win a ball game. And like you say, if Chicago beats them, we still got another day. We got life.
In Boston, the Red Sox and their Killer Bees are hosting the Chicago White Sox as they try to wrap up the American League East. In the top of the first inning, the White Sox get on the board first as Frank Thomas hits a sacrifice fly to center field. Ellis Burks makes the catch, but Lance Johnson comes in to score easily, making it 1-0 Chicago. That gave Thomas 31 RBIs for the season. In the bottom of the first, after an Ellis Burks double put runners on second and third, Melito Perez threw a wild pitch that allowed Wade Boggs to score, tying the game up at 1. Then in the top of the second inning, Tom Brunansky will make a nice catch on the line drive by Robin Ventura. The ball pops out of his glove after he makes the catch, but it was ruled a catch since he lost the ball trying to take it out of his glove. The score was still 1-1 after 2 innings of play. Both starting pitchers settled down for a while. Here in the top of the third inning, we'll see Tom Bolton striking out Carlton Fisk. The game was still tied up at 1. And then in the bottom of the fourth inning, Melito Perez will get yesterday's hero swinging as he strikes out Dwight Evans. So it was still tied up at 1 after 4 innings of play. Then in the top of the seventh inning, we'll see a great play by Jody Reed that saved a run. Lance Johnson hits one down to second, and Reed dives to stop it. It's an infield single for Johnson that loaded the bases. It left Ozzie Guillen at third base, but it turned out to be a moot point as Larry Anderson then threw a wild pitch that scored Guillen, making the score 2-1 Chicago. That was still the score in the top of the eighth inning when Luis Rivera made a great leaping catch on a line drive hit by Robin Ventura that ended that inning. In the bottom of the eighth, the Red Sox came back and tied the game up. Danny Heap hit a drive to deep center field. Ellis Burks will run it down, but the sacrifice fly scores Stone, making the score 2-2. In the top of the ninth, Wade Boggs turns in a nice play on Ivan Calderon. He turns this bouncer into a 5-3 out on a close play, and that ended the White Sox chances in the top of the ninth. Then in the bottom of the ninth inning, Bobby Thigpen will strike out Kevin Romine to send the game into extra innings, tied at 2. In the top of the 10th, Boston reliever Jeff Gray struck out the side. Here we'll see him striking out Frank Thomas looking. The Boston dugout looking on and cheering Gray as he gets Thomas on a pitch on the outside corner. So the score was still 2-2, and then in the top of the 11th inning, Ozzie Guillen made the score 3-2 White Sox as he lined a single to right field. This scores Ron Karkovice, giving the White Sox a 1-run lead and giving Guillen 57 RBIs for the season. Then in the bottom of the 11th inning, we'll see Wayne Edwards getting Tony Pena to ground out to end it. 3-2 was the final. The winner, Paul, is 3-5. The loser, Lamp, is 3-5. Edwards gets his second save as the Red Sox fail to clinch the division.
The Pittsburgh Pirates, champions of the National League East, host the New York Mets in Tuesday night action. We pick it up in the top of the first inning with New York leading 1-0. This is Tim Tuffle with a solo home run to left field, his 9th home run of the year. The Mets led 2-0. Moving now to the bottom of the second inning, R.J. Reynolds hits into what looks like a double play, but they rule catcher interference on Charlie O'Brien of the Mets. Instead of 2 outs for the Mets, the Pirates have men on first and second and no outs. And Mike LaValliere takes advantage of the situation. He hits a single into right field, scoring Bobby Bonilla. The score was 2-1 New York. The Pirates picked up one more run in the bottom of the second inning, and the score was tied 2-2 after 2 innings. Then in the top of the third inning, Jay Bell can't hold on to this Chris Jellick ground ball. Pat Tabler and Tim Tuffle score on the play. The Mets led 4-2. But in the bottom of the third inning, Dwight Gooden, looking for win number 20, starts to fall apart. Here he throws the ball away. Jay Bell scores from third base. The score was 4-3. Van Slyke goes all the way to third base. He would score on a Bobby Bonilla ground out, and the score was 4-4 after 3 innings. Then in the top of the fourth inning, watch this catch by Andy Van Slyke. He goes up and catches the ball up against the wall, taking away an extra base hit from Darren Reed. Then in the bottom of the fourth inning, Dwight Gooden walks Jay Bell with the bases loaded, scoring Jose Lean. The score was 5-4 Pittsburgh. Then later in the bottom of the fourth inning, Dwight Gooden throws a wild pitch, scoring Bill Landrum from third base. The score is 6-4 Pittsburgh after 4 innings. Then in the bottom of the fifth inning, Sid Bream hits a 2-run home run to right field, his 15th home run of the year. This made the score 8-4 Pittsburgh after 5 innings. The Pirates would hold on and win this game 9-4, and it was announced in the middle of the 8th inning that the Pirates had set a new home attendance record with over 2 million fans. The Pirates win 9-4. Bill Landrum, the winner, 7-3. Dwight Gooden, the loser, 19-7.
Tuesday night in Oakland, the A's are hosting the California Angels. And in the top of the first inning, Donnie Hill gives the Angels a 1-0 lead as he hits a single to right field that scores Luis Polonia. That gave Hill 31 RBIs for the season. Still in the top of the first inning, Lance Parrish comes to the plate. He doubles to right center field. This will score Hill, making the score 2-0 Angels and giving Parrish 70 RBIs for the season. The Angels weren't done yet, and they made it 4-0 before the inning was over. Lee Stevens hit his 7th home run of the season. This will be a 2-run shot to left center field. Parrish is on base for this, making the score 4-0. That gave Stevens 32 RBIs for the season. The A's got one back in the bottom of the first inning on a home run by Dave Henderson. And then Bob Welch pretty much settled down after that. In the top of the 4th inning, we see him striking out John Orton. Then in the bottom of the 6th inning, the A's began to come back as Henderson comes up with his 2nd RBI of the game. He lines one to left field that scores Ricky Henderson, giving him 62 RBIs for the season and cutting the California lead to 4-2. Still in the bottom of the 6th, Blankenship hits a broken bat single to left field that scores Dave Henderson, making it 4-3. Then in the bottom of the 7th inning, Oakland takes the lead as Jose Canseco hits a double to the right center field gap. This will score both Dave and Ricky Henderson, making the score 5-4 Oakland and giving Canseco 101 RBIs for the year. In the bottom of the 8th, the A's added an insurance run as Harold Baines hit a single to right field. Willie McGee comes in to score, making the score 6-4. That turned out to be the final score, and we'll see Dennis Eckersley getting Brian Downing to fly out to center field to end the game in the 9th. The final 6-4 Oakland. The winner, Welch, is now 27-6. The loser, Frazier, is 5-4. Eckersley picks up his 48th save.